Next now is Michael Steele, former RNC chairman, former Maryland lieutenant governor, and an MSNBC political analyst. Michael, couldn't think of anyone better to talk to about Maryland politics than you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I know a little bit about it.
certainly know more about it than I do. Let me ask you, because you also know the Republican Party, do you think these far-right Republican nominees for state office have a real shot at winning your state in the fall?
No, they don't. And largely because the numbers work against Republicans in the main. We're outnumbered 2-1 in Democratic versus Republican registration. What you saw happen at the time I ran with Bob Ehrlich in 2002 and what Larry Hogan did starting in 2014 was to create a narrative that began to appeal to center-right Democrats and independent voters who typically and traditionally voted Democratic, gave them a choice to consider. What Dan Cox has done ostensibly is by defeating Kelly, take that choice away from those voters. So the likelihood that they're going to in the first instance, first blush, Ayman, vote for someone who believes that Joe Biden was installed in the White House, bust people to January 6th, call the vice president, then Vice President Pence, a traitor, that these are Larry Hogan voters. No, right. That they're not going to vote for Dan Cox in that regard. So this is going to be a very difficult struggle for the GOP to hold the governor's mansion coming this November.
Give me your political sense here for a moment. I mean, what should Democrats do to more effectively oppose these candidates? And I wanted to be careful in the way we characterize those ads because, yes, Democrats are paying for them, but they are really running and they are leading the Republican field. And in any campaign, candidates attack one another. Are the Democrats, who are running these ads during the primaries, are they galvanizing Trump supporters to the Republican voters to the advantage of those far-right candidates, or should they just simply ignore them until they get to the general election? What's the smart play here for Democrats?
Well, I think what you have to look at, Ayman, is it's on a state-by-state basis. There have been a few states where the Democrats have played that card and they failed. The Trump candidate lost and did not win. And so that now has created a very competitive environment for Democrats in those particular states. But then you have states like Pennsylvania and Maryland where the ads worked. And so the question certainly now, as you showed the poll on Pennsylvania, where the candidate who's supposed to scare the hell out of Pennsylvanians is within 4 points of the Democrats, right? And so you're sitting there going, did someone see that coming? And the rub is the difference between a Pennsylvania and Maryland is going to be that voter registration. What you will likely see in a place like Maryland is the concern about a Dan Cox becoming governor will draw out Democrats who ordinarily probably would not vote in this election because, hey, Democrats win the state, or they like the Republican candidate and they're fine with that person winning. But what Dan Cox represents is an opportunity for those candidates to come out, which may hurt down ballot Republicans for county executive and other races who would otherwise stand a good chance of winning. Similarly, in Pennsylvania, with Mastriano, the problem you have there is because the margins between Democrats and Republicans are a lot closer and independents play a bigger role. If they like Mastriano, suddenly now, as the polls reflect, the race becomes a bit more competitive because the margins don't allow you the wiggle room that you have in a state like Maryland.
We've got about 30 seconds left. I want to ask you big picture. Speaking of down ballots, Trump keeps teasing that he will announce a bid for president 2024 sometime soon, perhaps to avoid potential criminal prosecution. Who knows? But according to some recent reporting, he might do it before November. If he does announce on that timeline before the midterms, what do you anticipate? What kind of impact do you think he will have on the midterms?
Oh, it definitely will have an impact, because then those Democrats and independent voters and even some Republican voters who are going to be concerned about giving power back to Republicans this November, so that sets up Trump for 2024, they are going to come out and they're not voting Republican. They're just not. And so they're already run the risk with other issues the Supreme Court have put on the table, for example. So it's a very dicey fall for Republicans.
My friend Michael Steele, former RNC chairman, former Maryland lieutenant governor, and an MSNBC political analyst. Always good to see you, bud. Thank you so much.
All right, my man. Take care.
Take care.